Garden tour day, garden tour day. We're gonna do a garden tour today, probably a quick one, but I wanted to show you guys what we actually have going on out here in our little tiny garden. This is our urban homestead, little urban front garden we've got going on. So we used hay bales for the most part, but originally, before we put the hay bales in, we had this area over here. We had that raised bed, that one, and that one, as well as that one there. I made all of those last year, but this year we added some hay bales, right? Hay bales are pretty simple. You soak them down, put them on their side, and then inoculate them with nutrient-rich things such as chicken poop, bone meal, blood meal specifically. Let them sit for a month or so, and then you can plant things in them. And so far, it's turning out great. So starting down here, we have some lettuce. We have sugar sweet peas. They're beginning to attach to their trellis here. We have more peas. We have cucumber coming in here. One thing we have been having an issue with are pill bugs, also known, around here we call them roly-polies. And they have been biting, chewing around the base of my plants. And then once the plant falls over, then they rise up from the soil and just devour it in the course of a single night. These guys are voracious. See, there they are. There was one right there. Also here we have a tomato plant. So this tomato plant has a funny story. This is a volunteer plant from last year. Whenever I was sifting out my chicken coop, apparently we'd thrown away some tomatoes, and this was just randomly growing in the backyard. So I think it might be a Cherokee purple, I'm not sure. We have more cucumbers there, and a volunteer cilantro, same situation as the tomato plant. So moving down to the end of the salad bar, that's what I call this area. It is called the salad bar. We have turnip greens. These are super healthy. They're very healthy. Got a little bit of pest issues, but nothing crazy. As you can see, the turnips are performing nicely. Let's see what that looks like, just for fun. Okay, doing well. And on the back side, we have some Kentucky Wonder green beans. We have 3 plants, 1, 2, 3, coming along nicely. I'm gonna trellis these guys up this fence as well. Pretty. Moving on to our kale. So this is this kale's second year. As you can see, it's beginning to form seeds. These flowers are delicious. I've got a previous video about that. Wow, it's even better. It's almost like it's kind of sweet lettuce. Car going by. But yeah, the kale is coming along nicely. I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to let these seeds mature, save a lot of them, and then probably let some reseed naturally, so that way I can plant these every year. Down here we have a few carrots, nothing crazy, just kind of randomly threw some carrots in. Got maybe a squash growing there, not doing too well. Backside we got some lettuce varieties, not doing great either, but just kind of threw these guys in there. Then moving on to the Mizuki lettuce. I believe it's called Mizuki lettuce. It's kind of like a Japanese kale, I would say. This is it. It grows almost exactly the way that kale does, except it's got a different leaf. I don't believe it is a different species of kale. I have not been able to find anything about the origins of this plant outside of the fact that it looks like Mizuki lettuce. Mizuki. And I'm back. It's future me about 30 minutes later. Anyway, let's continue. So we have onions. I have these onions bunched in groups of 3 and 2. I hear the dogs with the chickens. Astria, no chicken. Anyway, so bunches of 3, sometimes 2. These are sweet onion and yellow onion on this side. This side we have purple onion and some kind of other onion. I forget the name, but they're doing great. See that purple deliciousness there? This is gonna be dinner tonight and also dinner tonight. He's gonna chop up really good in some tacos. So moving on, we're gonna close up my little homemade gate here. I have a little bit of PVC in the ground, little lock on the top here. Perfect. We'll switch it on over to the blueberries. We have 3 species of blueberries. We have, bam, blue. Wait, yeah, these are the powder blue blueberry. As you can see, we have some blueberries coming in. This is their first year. And well, their first year in my yard. They were in a nursery prior to this. So as for the soil, I kind of have just a mixture of soil thrown together in here, not gonna lie. Typically they like something that's more acidic. I have some acid additive that I'm going to add later, probably next spring, because I really didn't expect them to produce a lot this year anyway. So if you want a very productive blueberry plant, give them acid. Now, this one is Blue Jay Blueberry. This thing is crazy compared to the other two. It's massive. It's a massive plant. It has some larger blueberries coming in there. Not a lot of blueberries, just a couple big ones. But as I said, it's the first year. Over here we have Brightwell blueberry. Yes, ant. Leave my blueberries alone. Ant. Anyway, so nice blueberries there. Get that. Ooh, okay. There we go. Big blueberry. I don't know if I'm gonna have an issue with birds or not. We shall see. Over here we have raspberries. This is a raspberry shortcake raspberry. It is very slow growing. The initial cane died and then it started regenerating, so it's gonna take it a while, I'm sure, but it's supposed to get yay tall and produce some really sweet raspberries. Over here we have another raspberry plant. These are Lameth raspberry. That cane died, unfortunately, but we had some volunteer squash come up in there, volunteer peppers, so that's cool. And on to the blackberries. This blackberry is rocking. This one is a Natchez blueberry, I believe. This is the Natchez blueberry, which is developed right here in the state of Arkansas. And we have a Ouachita. This one had some pest issues, but it also has a fresh cane coming up, so it's going to be fine. And into the wild garden area. I don't mow any of this. I kind of just let it, just kind of let it do its thing. I trim it down a little bit every now and then with a weed eater. Here we had bok choy and leeks. Remaining bok choy there. Some leek over here. What happened with this is we have a gap in the fence here, and then a cat or some type of animal got in here and destroyed everything. Turned it into a moonscape, but it's fine. This is gonna be my okra patch next. Here we have green tomatillos in my awesome hay bale here. Do a little bit of weeding while I'm here. So tomatillos are going to be great. They're great for salsa, great for soups, great for tacos, great for mixing into any kind of meat that you want to have extra juicy with lots of flavors. We love it here. And then over there we have the purple tomatillo. So these plants are very young. It's going to be a month or so before you see any kind of, good size to them. But allegedly they get like 6 or 7 feet tall, which means they're going to be way up here. Moving on to the front garden. This is where the production begins. We have zucchini and squash and zucchini and squash and lots of it. Moving down to the squash. So, and again, over here, we're having some issues with roly-polies. So I've been treating, what is that plastic there? I hate that, weird. Yeah, so we've been treating these with diatomaceous earth. I know diatomaceous earth is a bad idea, but we ended up using our chicken litter from our chicken coop, which turned out to be loaded with pill bugs or roly-polies. So these hay bales exploded with roly-polies, and it became a hostile environment for any type of green plant because they were eating everything. So we just went really heavy with the diatomaceous earth around the stems to keep the roly-polies off. Butt squash is doing great. We're getting some blooms beginning to form, and the zucchini is killing it over here. Look at that. As long as we don't have any roly-polies messing things up for us. Zucchini, zucchini, zucchini. That was one that was killed by roly-polies. Squash. Here we have jalapenos coming in. Jalapeno, jalapeno, jalapeno. And here we have shishito peppers, which is a Japanese pepper. These are gonna be very good. The thing about shishito peppers is whenever you fry them up just like you would anything else, you know, like a quick stir fry. But 1 in 10 is supposed to be very hot. So it's almost like playing Russian roulette with peppers. Moving over, we have poblano. These are poblano peppers, all coming in nicely. These are ancho chilies, which is basically just like a poblano, except a different name. And in the very front, you will see my tomato row. So tomatoes, here in the front, we got Cherokee Purple. We have black cherry tomatoes. We have, these are mortgage lifter tomatoes, supposed to put off huge volumes of tomatoes, so we'll see. Here we have Amish paste. That's definitely a grass. Amish paste tomatoes coming in. And looks like some type of volunteer pepper there. Okay. And then here we have bell peppers and squash and more bell peppers. And then moving on to the front, we have potatoes. All the potatoes. It's very marshy ground right there, so I'm curious to see how potatoes respond to being near that. We will see. But we have a type of white potato there and a type of red potato here. We have those. So what we did here with that is we just put cardboard on the ground. Same with the asparagus patch. Cardboard on the ground, then straw, and then compost, and then potato seeds. Not seeds, but seed potatoes, the little mini potatoes. And then we put straw on top of those and then let them sprout out of the straw. Oh look, there's a tick. I have a tick. Get that dude. Squish. Moving on to the rhubarb. I'm really excited about the rhubarb. I've never had rhubarb in my life, but we're gonna see what it's like with this. This is first year, just like the asparagus. We have 2 rhubarb plants, and there's a volunteer potato there for some reason. We'll leave that and see what happens. But yeah, that's the rhubarb. I think I just heard the chickens. Uh-oh, here we go. Are we okay? Okay, yeah, chickens. Astria. There she is. Okay, I thought you were messing with the chickens, girl. Don't mess with chickens. Then finally over to the grapes, which we have a previous video about. These are Catawba grapes. Here they are, here, 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 and here. No, so they're starting to put off what appears to be false grapes, maybe. I'm not sure what they're doing there. It's my first time ever growing grapes. And this is the trellis I built for them on the previous video. And then to the herb garden, check this out. This is my favorite part. So I use these herbs all the time. We've got rosemary here, some clover, not really, get rid of the clover. Goodbye, clover, goodbye. And then last one there. And we got sage, look at that sage. We killed it with the sage this year. Look at this big thing just hanging over, just love sage. It's good on meat, fish, beef, all things. We have some new cilantro coming in here. Cilantro, 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 big parsley. The parsley began to flower earlier, a couple days ago, so I've been picking off these flower heads so that way it stays nice and fresh tasting. Then over here we have more parsley. This is next year's parsley because this is going to die out this winter, and this will be next year's parsley. We need to do a little cleaning in here, but yeah. After the herb garden, I go to my favorite spot, my front stairs. So this is where we sit, you know, with the family and stuff. We'll have a picnic table out here in the yard, and we just hang out, man. We have a good time, you know. Drink some coffee. But I want to say thanks for watching. If you would like to see other things from us, feel free to subscribe, like the video, shoot a comment. I respond to almost every comment. And yeah, thanks for watching.